I have learned a lot from getting into the union. I was really kind of reluctant to do it. I didn't know what it involved. I didn't know how strong a part the union played in the business that I do. I was angry at the dues that I put out of my check for a long period of time, and when they finally came in and talked to me about what it was all about, I decided I was either going to stop bitching about it and do something to help, or I was part of the problem.
Empowerment only comes through unity of strength, that by myself I have no power. I am not empowered in the workplace. I've tried by myself. It's only through collective action as a group that we are able to exercise any power.
We're 12,000 strong, and we can have meetings and get together, support each other, lift each other up, and we find each other's talents, and we now have the voice with all the other SEIU brothers and sisters, not only in Oregon, but across the nation and internationally.
I can see the union is such a powerful and positive force for the work and the workers out there, that we need each other.
Oregonians, I believe, get one of the very best values for their tax dollars out of their public employees. And that's not just because I work here or live here, that's because I believe that stuff.
I have a direct link with my grandparents, and actually recently, last November, we had to move them into a nursing home. And I came to find out their financial situation and how much they were spending on prescriptions and what kind of bills that they had from doctors and how many different doctors they see. And it's a lot of money, and when you don't have any income and you're 85 years old and your prescriptions take a third of what you're bringing in or what's coming into you, there's not much left to pay for any housing. You have your children and your grandchildren then have to decide what kind of care they can afford for their grandparents and their parents. And so it becomes something that takes away an elderly person's independence.
We organized and really trained our stewards and began to challenge and have success. Well, one of the byproducts is now people call us when they feel something's unfair, where before they were willing to accept it.
Well, we've told management that this is an unacceptable document and that we will write a document that is not contradictory and one that we feel like we can do our job with. And we are presenting this to the Labor Management Committee and indicating that this is the document that we want.
And next week we're going to start a sit-in where we're going to take our people, put them in the lunchroom, so when the other people come there, they don't have no place to go. And we hopefully, by doing this, these people will go to Stan Mazerhart to complain about not having enough room, and maybe that'll help our cause.
When we first started, we didn't have anything, and now we pushed it through a ballot measure, and we pushed it through the voters when we overwhelmingly won in every county, 62%, and we pushed it through the House and the Senate, and then the governor signed it August 2nd of last year.
The mood in the workplace now with the people that were involved and the people that voted yes is great. A lot less fear. There's a lot more confidence. People are willing to sign forms and things that they would never sign before go public. So it's really, I think it's relaxed in the workplace.
I remember calling my mother and telling her, I delivered Oregon, Al Gore. I was such on fire to go out and campaign in that election. I said, look, give the easy neighborhoods to other workers. I wanted to go into Republicans and get converts.
On September 11th, we were at Seaside at the convention, at the AFL-CIO convention, and I was scheduled to talk at 10 o'clock that morning. And at 8 that morning, and we were watching TV, and I went to get breakfast, and when I got back, we had just found out that the towers had first been hit and all that happened. And we had to get ready and go anyway, so we went, and I had to get up and do my speech. And I went up there, and the whole mood was just so different than it had been before. You know, I knew I couldn't say any of the things I wrote, so I just looked out at the audience, and I just spoke from my heart the best I could, you know, and did the best I could, and then went back down. And then later Tim Nesbitt came up to me and he said that that's what makes a really good leader, is someone that can go on and carry on even through trials and even through hard times, and not let the rest of the group see you falter even at that time.
It is an amazing feeling to walk out the front doors of Greg Walden's office, walk down the stairs, out onto the street, and walk up to the intersection and know that you're walking across the street with one of the most powerful people in the country that represents transportation in your state, going over to what I believe to be the biggest part of democracy in this country, which is the nation's capital. It's an awesome feeling, an awesome feeling.
I felt like they really cared about what I was saying, because I wasn't one person. I was representing of the members of Jackson County, which members are 650 employees.
I took 5 weeks and come to work for the union as a mock full-time. It was a very wonderful experience. I got to get out and meet the candidates, rub shoulders with them, really find out what their views were and how they were going to support the union. I put a lot of effort into Measure 143, which is the Signatures on the Ballot initiative. And by the way, I was the mock that got the most signatures gathered.
The leaders and members of SEIU Local 503 have a reputation for taking on the important fights. You've organized the home care workers. You've campaigned for health security. You've joined other workers' picket lines, and you tell the public about the work you do. And you've even occupied the governor's office. You have a vision of workplace democracy that many of us share. But what 503 does so well is it puts it all into action.
It's important for elderly people, it's important for young people, it's important for people with insurance, it's important for people without insurance. This is an issue that it directly affects everybody.
I think we've made things better for all of Oregon and all Oregonians, for all the taxpayers in Oregon.
We will continue to have our people involved in the process. And if you don't like it, well, that's frankly too bad.
It's, as in any case, people didn't believe that any change would be made, that we would have any effect. Why should we say anything? They're not going to listen. And we won. I mean, we really did win, and it's a fabulous thing.
We feel like that no matter what we get through this contract, we won because we pushed the first contract through, and that's history.
Passion about righteousness and truth and fairness, and these are the kind of stewards and activists we're looking for.
Every neighborhood I went to, I went looking for that one vote and said, if I can just deliver that one vote, then we'll deliver Oregon, and we did.
You don't work here because you're going to get rich. You work here because you have a love for the people and a love for the state.
I decided to get involved, and it was the best thing that I could have ever done. I've learned a lot, and I feel like I'm taking a part in my own life.